All right, let's step into a world that's kind of hidden. It's this invisible economy that's running all around us, all the time. And in this world, some of the biggest companies out there, they don't just hope you're a little fuzzy on your finances. No, they've built their entire empires on it.
And this quote right here, this is the key. It's the core of everything we're about to get into. You know that feeling you sometimes get, that nagging sense that the system isn't really on your side? Well, this explains it. For a whole lot of companies, your financial blind spots aren't a mistake. They're not a bug in the system. They are the system. It's the whole feature.
Okay, so where does this all happen? Where is this silent economy at work? Well, it starts somewhere super ordinary, a place you probably go to every single week, maybe even every day. The good old supermarket. I mean, of course you have, right? You're exhausted after a long day, you're hungry, and you just want to grab dinner and get out of there. But here's the thing. The second you walk through those automatic doors, you've stepped onto a stage. And it's a stage that's been carefully, meticulously designed to steer every single choice you're about to make. Just think about it for a second. Where are the most expensive products? You know, the ones with the biggest profit margins? They're almost always right there, at eye level. That is absolutely not a coincidence. It's a calculated strategy to get you to grab their most profitable stuff without even a second thought. And hey, what about those prices? You know, the ones that always end in 0.99? Or those big, flashy 2 for $5 signs? It's all designed to give you that little rush, that feeling of, ooh, what a deal. It's meant to trigger an impulse buy right then and there, whether you actually need the thing or not.
Oh, and this one is just genius. You see that bright, screaming yellow sticker that says sale or deal, and you think, awesome. But what you probably don't know is that the price might have been jacked up just last week. That sticker isn't about giving you information, not really. It's about creating a sense of urgency, making you feel like you have to buy it now. And what do all these tricks have in common? They're all designed to hit one thing, your financial blind spots. See, they're not betting on you being bad with money. They're just betting on you being, well, human. You're distracted, you're tired, and you're just trying to get your shopping done.
Okay, but look, supermarkets, that's just the opening act. Let's move on to the main event, where the real money is made. This is where things get a lot bigger.
So now we're leaving the grocery aisles behind and diving into something you can't see, those dense, tiny print paragraphs in your terms and conditions. These are the places where little, hidden drains can just quietly siphon money from your accounts every single day. I'm talking about things like late fees, overdraft fees, so-called convenience fees. We've kind of been trained to think of these as normal, right? Just part of the deal. But they're not. Think about what they really are. Each one is a penalty, a perfectly calculated penalty for making a tiny mistake. It's basically a tax on being busy, or a fine for not paying attention for 1 second.
And man, do they add up. We're not talking chump change here. We are talking billions, billions with a B. That's how much revenue banks and other companies pull in every single year just from these little fees. So here's the bottom line, the most important thing to get. This is not about you being lazy or irresponsible. It's about a system that's been quietly and super effectively engineered to cash in on those moments when you're not on high alert. It's simple. The less you know, the more they make. But wait, there's a twist. Because it's not just about what you know on paper. It's about why you make the decisions you make. This is where we get into the psychology of it all. And trust me, it's fascinating.
So let me ask you, what does financial illiteracy actually look like? When you hear that phrase, what pops into your head? Someone who doesn't get the stock market? Maybe someone who can't balance a checkbook? The truth is, it's usually way more subtle and a lot more relatable.
See, the reality isn't about not knowing some complex formula. It's about everyday psychology. It's that little thrill you get when you see a 50% off sign. You walk away feeling like you saved $100, when in reality, you just spent $100. Or it's looking at your credit card limit and not seeing it as a debt you'll have to repay, but as free money, like a little treasure chest just for you.
And guess what? They know this. They know exactly how our brains work. Companies pour millions, fortunes into studying these exact impulses. Your emotional triggers, your mental shortcuts. That's not a mystery to them. To them, it's just data. Data they use to turn your human nature into profit on their balance sheets. Okay, so that's the setup, that's the problem. But here's the good part. There is absolutely a way to flip the whole script. And it all starts with one simple change in how you look at things.
And this right here is the goal. You want to know the biggest sign that you're winning? It's not just having more money in the bank. It's when you become a terrible customer for these kinds of systems. When you become unprofitable, you basically become impossible to take advantage of.
So what does that actually look like in real life? It's not about winning the lottery. It's about the small wins. It's that quiet feeling of victory when you realize, hey, I haven't gotten one of those payment failed emails in ages. It's finally hitting cancel subscription on that service you haven't used in 6 months. And it's that amazing feeling of power when a 50% off everything email pops up and you just hit delete because you know it's a trap, not a treat.
And this really sums up the whole journey. You go from being a target, a passive consumer, to being a strategist, your own strategist for your own money. You're not just a piece in their game anymore. You're looking at the whole board and thinking about the rules.
So, when it all comes down to it, what's the big takeaway? It's this, right here. Being financially smart isn't about being some Wall Street wizard. It's way simpler. It's about making sure that nobody, and I mean nobody, is smarter with your money than you are. Because at the end of the day, the more you learn, the less they earn. Simple as that.